Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you clicking on the video. Forget about this wavy stuff back here. Don't worry about it. I just played a new game and I'm going to tell you about it. Let's get into it. Alright, so the new game that I just played is Satisfactory. It's in early access. It's been around for actually quite a while. And it reminds me a ton of Factorio, which I've played before, and it's super fun. Basically, the whole premise of the game is that you drop in on this little space pod, and I'm not exactly sure the backstory of what's actually going on, but what I can gather from what's happening is you are mining resources, gathering information, all that good jazz, and sending all of that information and all of those good things up into space, into some sort of space creation, space base, to try and help other people or help a project, support a project with resources from the planet that you're on. And so basically you start off, you have like literally absolutely nothing, which is just the same way that Factorio kind of starts you off. You have to manually mine some stuff so that you can create an initial base, I guess if you want to call it that, or initial miners, initial thing, and then you're like trying to constantly progress the automation of all of this stuff so that it is more fun and more enjoyable for you to do, so you don't have to do everything so manually. Of course, I beat my head over the pike with kind of always doing manual stuff. So which is one thing that I'm not too fond of in this in this game. The manual functionality is going to an actual workbench and holding down a button. Obviously, that's not the way you're supposed to play the game, so they make it extremely painful for you to do it. And so that's a way that the developer has used to try and make sure that you do automation. One of the things I find very interesting about the game is when you're trying to automate stuff, footprints of buildings are very, very large. And so you use a lot of space really, really quickly. And that's something that is, it's one of the things that I think I would kind of change, move over, or maybe if we get into later stages, there's more efficient machines that aren't as big or don't require as much. But other than that, this game is super fun, super enjoyable. If you like a grind, automation type settings, looking where breakdowns are for efficiency and functionality, as far as like if you have a miner that's mining a whole bunch of ore and the ore is going into a smelter and the smelter's not moving very fast to make ingot, you can split the roads to make it to where the ore is constantly being produced and not waiting for so long. It's some of the easiest things that happen, just like Factorio. The hardest part is that in order to find these inefficiencies within your factory, you have to watch. You have to watch very, very closely. You need to be everywhere at all times, because you're not gonna find. It's not gonna be easy to find. You don't get to see when belts move because there's big buildings in front of you. The thing that I think enhances from Factorio is that there is a 3-dimensional layer to it that is pretty cool. I haven't gotten to play with much of it on this first playthrough. This first time that I've played it, I haven't gotten to play too much with going vertical with it, but I know that there is an elevator and then multi-stacked elevator pitch or conveyor belts in the walls and that sort of stuff, or in different pieces of equipment. So I think it would be super fun to watch how we conform to make very unique conveyor belt systems. The hardest thing for me right now is it only seems like I'm trying to progress a hub to make things go bigger and better and faster, and just keep moving for upgrades, but I don't see what an end goal is. So in Factorio, I know the entire game is to launch a rocket and then quote unquote take over more land in order to get better and better stuff, to make more efficiencies, and then they have a whole bunch of stats that go with it on how much you're producing to how much. And so there's a kind of a competition between the community to say like, hey, I'm producing, X amount of science per hour. And people are like, wow, that's really crazy. Like, it's super efficient. Well done. And on this one, I don't see where that would come into play. I might have missed it. I'm not exactly sure. But again, I don't even know what an in-game scenario looks like on the game. We played through. So on your hub, you have like three or four. We have about 7 different tiers, and so you start off with like tier 0. And that's just building the hub in general. And once you're done building the hub, you get tier 1, which, increases efficiency on different parts and lets you progress to have different things unlocked. And then once you get tier 1 done, tier 2, and then tier 3, and then there's this really big space elevator where you throw stuff up, and it's supposed to it just throws it up into space. So with all that being said, that's kind of what happens in the game. That's what's going on. I again kind of confused on exactly what's happening. You have this AI voice or radio operator voice that is kind of talking you through it, kind of getting you into the next phase of the game. As different research kind of happens, as different things pop up, it warns you, it tells you all that sort of good stuff. But I don't know where it's all headed to. I don't know where we're going, as far as I'm just upgrading and getting better stuff and then just moving on from it. But all of that aside, and the confusion and stuff, it is a beautiful game. It feels good to play as far as controls, responsiveness, screen tearing, any kind of glitches or anything like that are not debilitating from the game, or debilitating the game, or I'm trying to use the word debilitating for some reason. Don't worry about it. Let's move on. It doesn't detract. What happened? There's nothing in the game that detracts from the experience of gameplay. You move very smoothly, very cleanly. You seem, the speed of the character feels good because you're actually covering distance for how much effort you're putting in. The visual graphics are stunning, are great. And love the animations, the building animations, the space interaction, type stuff where you have like this little pod where, in order to upgrade your hub, you have this pod that you fill up, and then the little space shuttle like takes off and flies away. Which I'm hoping you're seeing right now. If I've done a good job editing this late in the video, that means that you're seeing it right now. If you're not seeing it, that means that I'm a crappy editor and you should totally give me a dislike. But since you are seeing it, think about hitting that like button for me. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And think about hitting that sub button so that you can get more of this beautiful content where my voice is the only thing that is amazing on this channel. Because the looks, let's be honest, they're not cutting it. All right, anyway. I don't know what that was. Something about YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's what needed to happen on YouTube. So after saying all of this, graphics are amazing. Graphics are beautiful. Animations are really, really cool. Really, really amazing. Creativity as far as different animals, different creatures, that sort of stuff. Terrain, the idea on how miners type stuff work is all really brilliant, really good. Instead of having to worry about the area of the mining, it kind of just puts one miner on the spot, and it's going to take care of the entire bit. So I really enjoy that. I think they did a good job with that. Building, spanning power lines, spanning conveyor belts. They go very, very far. So your resources actually get used in a very efficient way, which is pretty great. I think it's really, really good. It also speeds up the game where you don't have to place like one little square. Like if there's one conveyor belt, I don't have to sit there and like make one conveyor belt, one conveyor belt, one conveyor belt, one conveyor. I can just click and then run across the map, and it will allow me to go as far as my resource. It will let me go past my resources, which I wish it would just stop at how far your resources let you go. That would be something that would improve it. But it lets you go past, and then you can like walk it back until you can get to the max amount that your resources allow you to build. Other than the tidbit of that tiny bit of an improvement, the game seems pretty good so far. I'm not sure how the ending will look like or what it will be good for. I'm really wondering what it is. I think that you just keep unlocking stuff, and then once you've eventually unlocked everything, it's kind of like, hey, you set up enough resources for the base, and I'm pretty sure something will happen at the end, which I want to see. I want to see what happens. But other than that, we're pretty much at time. Love your beautiful faces being here. If you've seen this part of the video, you're probably one of the few, and I absolutely appreciate it. Your beautiful face is very important to me. If you would, leave that like, leave a comment, tell me the potato has fallen from the sky, then I know you're a true one. You know what I'm saying? Till later, I'm out of here. You stay real. I'm going to stay me. Talky, ramble. I'm out. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. I don't know why I just did that. Whatever. Stop the recording now.